All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Baharakakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the true sincere brethren around the four corners, pushing out this purified truth, cleansing this wicked defiled kingdom with the word, and to the rest of the church who believe as well. The water to Yahweh Shai, because without him, none of this would even be possible. Okay? Now, many people out there, first coming into the truth, when you try to explain this truth to others, you may find yourself getting frustrated because they don't seem to want to listen. You're giving them the facts. You're showing them Bible scriptures. But here you are pulling your hair out, figuratively, trying to get them to understand. Okay? But the truth has been given unto us. So the simple fact that all of our people are not going to receive the truth, that alone is actually a mystery. So let's jump to Romans 11 and 25. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceits, that blindness in part is happened to Israel, until the fullness of the Gentiles become in. So don't be ignorant to the fact that certain Israelites, they are not going to receive this truth because they are blind. Don't be wise in your own conceits. Don't be so into yourself to where you're going based off of your own emotions and not according to the scriptures. Because if you were going according to the scriptures, you would have to come to the conclusion or realization that if someone doesn't understand the truth, the Lord does not want them. You cannot force someone to come into the truth if the Lord does not call them to come into the truth. Okay? And before you can even be chose, you have to be called. So if you have to force this truth down somebody's brain before they understand it, which usually they don't understand it, they never come to a conclusion of it being the truth. Most likely they're not of the elect. Usually the elect, when they hear this truth, they're not like porcupines, okay, trying to poke at you, okay? When all you're trying to do is give the truth. So they're not ignorant, so they're not in darkness, and they hate you for it. Well, don't be blind to the mystery, and the mystery is there is a blindness within our people, and that blindness is going to consume the 2/3 to a point of no return until the Lord takes them out. All right? So this is Romans 11 and 25 again. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceits, that blindness in part has happened to Israel, until the fullness of the Gentiles become in. All right? So don't be ignorant to seeing that there is a blindness within Israel. Okay? You just have to make sure that you're awake. You have to make sure that you don't go back to sleep like everybody else in the world who was asleep. Okay? This is 1 Thessalonians 5 and 6. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. So don't sleep as others. Okay? Spiritually sleeping. You try to give them this truth and they don't want to listen to it because they're spiritually blind. If your eyes are closed, even if you're asleep, you're basically still blind. Because if your eyes are closed, you couldn't even see if your enemy was dead, straight in front of you. You wouldn't even be able to see if your worst enemy was even in your vicinity with your eyes closed, sleeping. So really being asleep, you're in a blind state of mind. Yeah, you can have visions from dreams, but the reality is you're blind to what's really going on because you're asleep. So let us not sleep as others spiritually. They're all caught up in the world. You try to explain to them about the evils of the so-called white man and how Esau is the devil, and they don't want to get it. Don't be ignorant to the mystery that there is a blindness within Israel because all of our people are not meant to receive it. Okay? Because when you're dealing with a complete idiot, their mind is elsewhere. You're better off talking to a brick wall when you're dealing with a 2/3. Okay? And seeing that, your main concern should be, are you right? Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing the best that you can so that you can be delivered? Because if those you've told this truth to ain't getting it, just move on. All right? And I'm telling you, me being out there still prophesying and I'm out there by myself, I've come to the conclusion some time back, like, hey, there's really a blindness within Israel. These niggas, they're not going to get it just because you told them if they're not of the elect. Okay? And even some of the 2/3 are being called into this truth, but they're being spewed out. All right? And we don't want to be a part of that number either. Okay? Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. Why are others sleeping? I mean, really, the answer is simple. Okay? Let's jump to Proverbs. Proverbs 17. Let's start at 5. Whoso mocketh the poor reproacheth his maker, and he that is glad at calamities shall not be unpunished. Okay? So if you went to mocking the poor, you see a poor Israelite on the streets and you laughing at them because you driving a Bentley or you driving a 300 or a Phantom or a Ferrari, all right? The Lord got a problem with you. Whoso mocketh the poor reproacheth his maker, and he that is glad at calamities shall not be unpunished. But here's the point. Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children are their fathers. So a lot of people's minds are not on wisdom because guess what? The father isn't even in the household. Okay? And if the father's not in the household, how can a child be raised up as a real man, being told what wisdom is, how to be a man, what makes you a man? Okay? Because according to the scriptures, to gird up your loins as a man is to, long story short, do the will of the Heavenly Father. Okay? So why else are the majority of the people in this world asleep? Let's jump down to verse 16. Okay, this is the main reason. This is Proverbs 17 and 16. Wherefore, is there a price in the hand of a fool to get wisdom, seeing he hath no heart to it? So if a fool's mind isn't on wisdom, they're asleep. Okay, they're lost. They are bugged the hell out. Because to them, to hear about wisdom, it's uninteresting. Back in school, you may have had certain times or certain periods where you were just bored. You were just ready to go to recess back in the elementary days. And back in the middle school days, you were just ready to go to lunch or gym. Back in the high school days, you were just ready to go home and have the weekend come so you can go to a party, whatever the case may be. Your mind may not have been on the wisdom of Esau. Well, this is pertaining to the wisdom of these scriptures. The scriptures are uninteresting to a fool. So a lot of people would rather skip out on class. So instead of watching these videos and trying to be fed and be edified, they would rather be of the world. They would rather be skipping class to go party. Why? Because this truth is not in the mind of a fool. Wherefore is there a price in the hand of a fool to get wisdom, seeing he hath no heart to it? So why waste your time to give someone wisdom, seeing their mind isn't even on it? All right? So let's jump to the Apocrypha. I'm going to jump to Sirach 6:20. She is very unpleasant to the unlearned. He that is without understanding will not remain with her. Give ear, my son, receive my advice, and refuse not my counsel. So a 2/3 is going to refuse the counsel. A 2/3 is not going to give ear. Okay? She isn't manifest to many. So this wisdom isn't given to everybody. Okay? She is unpleasant to the unlearned. So if you're a fool, this wisdom, it's not going to spark your interest. If you're not called, if the Lord's not dealing with you, this wisdom is not going to be interesting to you. Or even if it is, there is still going to be some kind of block to keep you from fully understanding. Okay? And as many times as we've brought out scriptures proving that this is not for everybody, you still have those wondering, well, if you did this and if you did that, maybe more people would listen, and if you talk nicely, more people would listen. No. That's not the case. The scriptures has nothing on talking nice to win the people over. All right? Now, does that mean we can't present ourselves respectably when we deal with our day-to-day lives? Of course. But at the same time, we're also, as our Lord is, we're also men of war. And the war that we are fighting is a spiritual war. Our mind is on this wisdom. Okay? But many, they try to make up lies because they are blinded by their own wickedness. Okay? This is Sirach 3:24, and I'm going to close it out. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment. So many are not going to receive this truth because they've been deceived by their own vain opinions. And a lot of them are going to stay that way. So seeing that a fool does not have his mind on wisdom, there is no need to be going crazy trying to save the whole world. This is not some Superman film where our job, our duty is to save every single person on earth. Okay, that is not our job, and that's not in the scriptures. That is not going to happen. And if that is your mind frame, you're really fighting against the Lord, because the Bible's giving you the information. Ecclesiasticus 3:24, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment. Okay, so a lot of them, their suspicions overthrow their judgment. Well, if I can't see God, how do I know God's real? Or why would I want to listen to the Bible when it tells me that I can't eat pork, but pork is good? That's just slavery. You know, people think like that because of their vain opinions, their evil suspicions. Okay, really is going to cause them to be put to death eventually. Okay, because the Lord is a power of justice. He set a standard in a way that we should live, and although he's merciful, the majority of our people don't even try. Okay, so not even trying, you have no chance in hell, because the ones who do try, the elect, they're righteously, in the eyes of the Lord, they're righteous, but they're still going to be scarcely saved. We, Lord willing, I'm a part of that. Okay, so for those who don't understand it, let them be. Oh well, life goes on. You know. Oh well. Kahala Yahweh Ba Shem Yahushai. Shalom.